Welcome to the first part of the end of 2023 ranking. This is also part of the Ellamas video series. That is the mix out of my name Ella and Christmas. And that means during the month of December, I will upload 31 videos. One long form video per day. Shorts will be done extra. So this is a fucking stressful time. But in this very first part of ranking, we will do the primers. And to be honest, we have, oh my god, let me count that through. We have one, okay, I don't have to count it because I already have it on my list because I'm so fucking organized. We have 11, maybe 12 different ranking videos. And the last one, so the one that we will finish this ranking, will be eyeshadow. So make sure you're subscribed so that you can see how I am going to rank 100 and, I don't know, 40 eyeshadow palettes. I'm a bit afraid for that. But today, let's talk about primer. So first of all, I want to say, just because one of these products is in the last place does not mean it's a bad product. I have done a full declutter series beforehand, but I didn't do a primer declutter because I like all of these primers, but there has to be somewhat of a ranking because some of these I like more, some of these I don't. Let's do it. This video, by the way, has actually like two parts because first we are going to talk about classic face primers. And then in this video, I will also rank the underpainting glow primers, but we will talk about that in a minute. So now let's hop into the face primers. In the 7th place, and that means my least favorite out of the primers, is actually the Hourglass Mineral Veil. Do you remember this gem? 2017, 2018, I think it was, when this released and everybody lost their fucking mind about this. I remember back then I was definitely too poor to afford this, so I bought the dupe, which is the NYX Angel Veil primer. So if you're still in the hunt for a dupe for this, NYX Angel Veil got you back. This is a good primer, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it is the packaging, because when I purchased this year, I was like, oh my god, I love that so much, I have to buy the big 60ml size. 30ml would have been enough, but I learned my lesson. This separates. I don't know what it is, but whenever now I use this, I have to either like shake it really, really hard, or I have to squirt out the liquid part first, because the like mineral particles in here and the liquid, they kind of separate in this tube, so it comes out first watery and then thick. I like the way it feels on the skin, but for some reason, even though I don't have like dry skin, I tend to have some dry patches. This will emphasize the dry patches. So if you have dry skin, this is probably not the best primer for you to try. If you have oily skin nonetheless, I think this is a really good one. I think one of my biggest problems with that is the mineral part, because I also don't like the mineral sunscreen, and this feels the same. This has some SPF to it. I think it's like 15 or so. It's like not much, but I don't like this mineral chalk feel on the face. So this is the least favorite in my collection. In 6th place, we have the Ritual the Fee Thorn Oil. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've used quite a lot of this. The thing is, why is this so low in the ranking? Because I fucking love this primer. The reason why this is so low is the packaging. I hate it so much. But how else can you make a oil primer usable? I have no fucking clue what other packaging to design, but this isn't it. It comes with a dropper, so that means you have to like drop it on your face, and the manual on this is very specific. It's like apply 5 to 10 drops on the face. Do you know what happens when you apply 1 drop on your face? It's running, because this is like, I mean, it's cooking oil. That's the texture of this. It's cooking oil. And then, do you see this? The color, or like some of the ingredient, is separating, so you have to shake it really hard. There are little metal balls inside, so it mixes back in. If you can see past that packaging and that shaking flaw, you will end up with a primer that, even though it is an oil, it's not greasy. How the fuck does this work? This stuff works with, I don't know, like 95% of my foundations. I do have a couple that this is not really vibing with, but it's not bad. It's like just the typical, you know, water versus oil. One of them will break up on the top of the other. And because this is so liquidy, it leaks. It fucking leaks. I have oil everywhere. This is rose, like thorn oil. This smells so intense like rose. If you don't like the scent, you might be thrown off, but I like it so much. It's really good. But the packaging, Number 5 is surprising to me because when I started using this primer, I was 100% sure I will rank that much higher. The Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. Let me show you why I thought this. Yeah. I used maybe half of it up. This is such an amazing primer. But the thing is, usability, you know, you have to scrape it off, you have to warm it up in your hand, you have to tap it in, spread it in, do not smear it, otherwise it pills. Gives kind of a like, I don't know, it lowers the ranking a lot. It lowers the excitement a lot. If this was in a different packaging, and again, I don't know what you can make different with this, because I think a jar or like a pot like that is the only way to store a product like that. But it's kind of off-putting. This little spoon is always dirty, and very important, you only get 18 grams of this. Like your standard primer has 30. This is only 18. It's half of it for the price of a full-size primer. That is also kind of a minus. Number 4, I discovered back this year in my collection. It's the MAC Prep & Prime Skin Base. I have used up 3 of these. 2 or 3 of these. I'm not too sure how many because it has been a long time since that. But I bought it for my MAC brand review video. And this, oh, I love this so much. This is such a good base because this does literally nothing. No glow, no mattifying, no pore filling, no blurring, just a base. This is just like the base layer before you can go on with makeup. Just perfect. Now let's come to the top 3. Number 3, and this was quite easy. Milk Pore Eclipse Primer. I never ever would have thought that I fall in love with a Milk makeup product. This primer is it. It is smoothing, it's mattifying, it helps your makeup stay on longer, and everything goes on top of this just literally perfect. Why is this not in the first place? I don't know. I listen to my gut and to the feeling that I have when I look towards these remaining 3 primers, and my feelings are like, this is not my favorite. This is not the best. It is good. It is very similar actually to the number 1, but it's not as good. There's like, this bit is missing. Maybe it's the scent. I don't know what it is with Milk makeup, but everything, I think besides the Pore Eclipse powder, has a scent to it, and they're not smelling like vanilla or like, I don't know, some sweet cupcake dish. This smells like old fruit. I said it. Number 2, and this might surprise you, but the tides have turned, the moods have shifted. Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, my favorite primer for years, is now in 2nd place. There is another primer that just went into my collection, said, who's the sheriff in town? Shot the sheriff, took the little sheriff star and said, now I'm the sheriff. And nobody has the guts to no, they're all like afraid of him. But this is basically like the MAC Prep & Prime Skin Base. This is just the base. It does literally nothing than prepping your face. But this preps better than MAC. With this one, again, it's also a bit of a scent thing because I don't like the scent. It's so heavy, like perfume scented. When I have a bit of a headache going on, I actually cannot use this because it hurts a bit. But other than that, I think this is a beautiful one. You can use this also as face cream, so you don't have to use it specifically as primer. You can also use it on like no makeup days, or even if you don't wear makeup at all, use this as face cream. Stunning. But now the long-awaited final favorite of the primer. And if you are here for a longer time and this is not your favorite video today, you might know which one it is. The Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer is the best one I've ever tried. Everything in this primer is literally perfection besides the packaging, because I also hate it on the foundation. This twist up bullshit I hate because it gets so fucking messy and I cannot see how much I have left in here, but I kind of have a feeling that this is going to be empty anytime soon. Will I repurchase this primer sometime in the future? Not for now, because this is very expensive. We're talking like between 70 and 80 euro expensive. But you get what you pay for. Staying power, mattifying, but without losing glow. I know it sounds super weird, but it is what it is. It mattifies, but you still have glow going on. Like natural glow. Every foundation I wear with this primer is just stunning. It's like this one changes the appearance of your foundation to the better. And if you have a foundation that already looks good on with no primer or with any other primer, when you try it with this primer, it will look even better. It's a win in all cases. Now let's move on to the underpainting glow primers. And I said it a couple times, but I wanna define it once again. I use a primer to help foundation and other stuff that I put on top stay on longer, or to manipulate the appearance of my skin. An underpainting glow primer I use in addition. I either wanna neutralize something, I wanna counteract something, or I just wanna emphasize glow. My goal is basically to manipulate the skin in a way that I wanna look wet. You know what I mean? But a Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer is not giving me a wet finish, but it gives me longevity. While an underpainting glow primer that I can use on top of it gives me the wet look. But because it's paired with a long-wearing primer, it's just pure perfection. And for some of you, this might be too much. I fully understand that. So do not feel pressured to be like, oh my God, I don't use stuff like that. I have to now. You can use these on its own. You don't have to wear a primer underneath. These are basically done to be used alone, but I found this technique working the best for me. And my least favorite one, if you would have asked me last year at the same time, I would have said nothing can beat this one. But I have tried so many other underpainting glow primers this year. All of them I tried this year. Now this one is like stinky socks. And I mean that literally. Because the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter smells so bad. This is my second bottle, because the first one I decluttered when it was half full because I thought this has gone bad. And then I got this one and it also smells the same. Ugh, it smells like paint. I was 100% sure that I would never ever in my life find something that is like this. And the packaging is just the cheapest you can ever get because the writing here comes off. The 9th place is just a shade thing. The Dior Backstage, what's it called? The Face and Body Glow. This is, first of all, this is like water. So this is very liquid. Don't apply this directly to a brush or whatever. Apply it to a plate or something or the back of your hand, but hold it still because otherwise it will run away. But this stuff is like pure gold. I can't use this under like medium and low coverage foundations because I will look like a Tin Man. And even though I like the wet look or the glowy look, this is more of a metallic look. But when I use this underneath a more full coverage foundation, like for example a Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte, or even the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation, or what else is really full coverage in my collection? Let me just think of something. Oh, the Clé de Peau foundation is quite full coverage. Chanel #1. This looks awesome, but as I said, I can't use this with every foundation in my collection. I hate this liquid texture. And to be honest, this is called a universal shade, but it's very gold for being universal. I don't agree on that. Number 8, and this actually is a bit heartbreaking. It's the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow thing. Seamless Skin Elevated Glow. I do have the shade Pink Moon, and this is a nice metallic sheeny face illuminating thing with a slight pink undertone. First of all, fully my fault. I was a bit shocked when I got this and I was like, did I buy a sample size? I was not aware of the fact that this has only 50 ml. So I don't know. Then this is too sheer in my opinion. I don't see the glow with this. It's very subtle. It's not the, I don't know, it's not what I anticipate when I use a product like that, but it's still better in my opinion than Hollywood Flawless Filter and Dior Backstage Glow. That's why this is number 8. But if this is empty, I will not repurchase. I cheated a bit because I do have 2 shades of the same product and I like them equally, to be honest. The Westman Atelier Super Loaded Tinted Highlighters Liquid. These are actually supposed to be highlighters. They don't work as highlighters because they are so liquidy. They will lift up everything that you wear underneath. But I'm pretty sure that these are not designed to be used on top of foundation, because if you know who the founder of Westman Atelier, Gucci Westman, is, and you know a bit about her makeup style, then it all makes sense. The way Gucci Westman applies makeup is basically the way I apply nothing. Does it make sense? When she uses powder, it's always so entertaining in the videos. She's taking like the smallest brush that she has and the powder goes like here, here, and here. And I'm like, why do you even apply it? People start to criticize even that, like, this is just ridiculous advertisement, does not work. But I bought these. Both of these are each 65 euro, so it hurts a bit. And when I found out that these do not work as highlighters for me, I was like, I can't declutter them. Like 130 money, I cannot declutter this. So I thought, let's try using it as underpainting glow product. And what can I tell you? They're good, and I'm pretty sure these are designed to be used alone. Without foundation underneath, you can layer things on top. Works wonders. Really, really pretty. But you cannot apply this on top of a foundation. It will lift everything. Is it something I would repurchase? Absolutely not. Fairly new to my collection, but I don't know if you can tell, I've already used up a lot. The Valentino V-Lighter. This. Chef's kiss. First of all, it says dual use liquid light, face base and top coat. So you can of course use this as liquid highlighter too. You get the amount of 25 milliliters. So if you use this as liquid highlighter, this will last your lifetime. I use it as an underpainting glow, like base coat for the glow, and oh my god, the pink tint is everything. If the Dior Backstage thing had this pink tint, it would be ranked much higher because that intensity is everything that I want. This blends in so nice. It looks so pretty underneath any foundation. Stunning. But it's only at number 6. So number 6 is the new Chanel #1 Skin Enhancer. And this comes in 3 shades. I have no fucking clue what the initial use of this is going to be, because some of them use these as liquid highlighters, some use these as primer, let alone. It's a skin enhancer, and I think this is not meant to be a primer. This is truly just for the glow. I do have the shade Soft Pink. It looks much darker in here than it does apply on the face, and I really like it. I really like the number 1 line by Chanel a lot. I think this is one of the best foundations they have ever launched, even though there is another foundation from Chanel that actually made it to the top. But we will talk about that in my foundation ranking. Number 4, I actually had to declutter because mine went bad. The Fenty Ease Droplet. This is amazing. This is the most sheer of those underpainting glow things that I actually own. And this will not leave your face like metallic-y glowy like most of them here do. This leaves your face wet and fresh glowy. I really enjoy it. I'm not too sure which shade I had. I think it was the lightest one. They have actually different shades in this. And I do have quite a big collection of those underpainting glow primers. That's why I didn't repurchase it right away, but I think at some point I will purchase this again. Number 4 is not only the only product I own from the brand, it's also the most surprising one. The iconic London, and it's literally saying Underglow Blurring Primer. So you can use this of course alone, and I don't know if you can tell, but I've used so much out of it. It is, I don't know, I don't want to say that this is blurring. It does kind of blur and smooth, but it's not like blurring, filter blurring. But the glow that you get is so subtle and nice and sheeny and wet. It's just amazing. Every foundation will look good on it. If you use a more lighter foundation, this will mix so nice into it. The most annoying thing is actually the packaging, because this comes in one of those very massy droppers, and no matter what I do, I always end up like fucking with this outer part, and then I have the primer stuck all around here and I have to clean it up. I think this is a primer that I might use up next year completely because it is so good. And you're probably now like, what the fuck could be the top 2 in her collection? Another surprising product. The Say, I always fuck up the name, Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow. This is the mini version. I got this in the, I don't know, one of the Cold Beauty edits. Or was it a set? No, I got this in a set from Say. There was a blush, a full-size blush, and this one as a mini. I fell in love with this after one use that I went back to Cold Beauty and bought the full size. The only thing I don't like about this that makes this actually a bit worse, like worse is not the right word, but I don't like it as much as my number 1, is the scent. This smells so weird and also like old fruit. I don't know, I don't like it, but it hasn't gone bad. It smells like this from the beginning on. The glow you get is subtle but still intense. I don't know, it's somewhere in between. That's just the right balance. But it's not better than my number 1. And the bestest underpainting glow primer, in my opinion. Let me tell you first, I don't like the packaging on this either, but I can't look past that because the Ellamas Skin Lock, I think you can already tell because the finish you get on the skin is holographic. And it has a piercing, which is also quite cool. This stuff is 80 fucking euro. I would pay 150 for this. Look at this drip. Can you see this? And if you know anything about the Ellamas stuff, you know that her collections have a theming, and this is from the Industrial One collection that surrounds all about bondage and stuff. And I think I cut it out in my initial review on this because I was like, can I say that in a video? Fuck it, I will say it. Let me drip this once more. First of all, it does, I don't know, it sticks as itself. So it has like this, I don't know, long, Do you know what I mean? What does this texture remind you of? Sperm. I'm sorry, I just say it. It's like sperm. And when I apply this, I get like bukkake vibes. Not that I have done something like that before, let me clear that. But I have seen it in videos. The internet is a very weird place, and this was my first thought. But I love it. It is so good. The holographic finish still shines through the foundation. None of these will shine through your most full coverage foundations. Let me just say that. But when you are like me, you are not wearing full on full coverage. The highest coverage that I have is like a medium to full, but still I kind of like with a sponge, I do shear them out a bit. This leaks through every foundation. This shines through, and this just makes everything better. You can use the Skin Like also as serum because this is technically a hyaluronic acid serum. But because of the texture, because of the ingredients, because of everything in here, this also works underneath your foundation. I would not say that this is a primer, like a good one. I don't think that this will prolong the wear of your makeup. That's why this is the pure definition of an underpainting glow primer. And that's it. This is the first ranking. The next one is going to be, it's going to be foundations. So I hope you will stay for that. I hope you love the whole Ellamas vibe. I don't know what day we have exactly because it's 31 videos. I have to pre-film a lot. So I hope you like it so far. Make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss any video from the Ellamas series. Thank you for watching. Tell me please in the comments down below, what are your top 3 primers? I need some inspiration. And I will see you in the next video.